That sucks. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about Super Mario World. So, if you guys couldn't guess, we adore this game. We absolutely adore this game. It's a very cute game. Its levels, I would say, compared to like the past Super Mario Brothers games, they're definitely difficult, but I think they're quite fair. Um, the
They're a lot
checkpoints. What's up?
much more doable.
Yeah, I agree. Doable is the right word for it. Checkpoints are a lot more fair, except Morton's Castle. There's like not a single checkpoint anywhere. I started to think what would happen if I lost that Morton fight. I mean, besides the spend point. So, and that's one thing I'll point out. If you're playing this version of the game on your Switch, you have the suspend points, so that can,
They're your
you
friends.
yeah, exactly. You can play with your friends, and then you could also use the spend points to like make your own little stopping points if you want to make the game even easier for you if you really want. But even with the in-game checkpoints, it's not that difficult. And then they do give you the option to save on the regular, so you should be okay to like play whenever you want to. And that's just the advancement of Super Nintendo, honestly, because you get more levels, colorful levels, more enemy variety, better save options. That's the power of moving on to the next gen. I'm so happy to be here. You don't even understand. And I can tell you that, like, I said it earlier during the stream when we were playing the game that playing all those NES games and like finally getting here now, it really almost feels like I experienced that same kind of like generational leap that kids back in that day might have when they're playing their NES games and moving on to the next generation. It's just so cool to see all the improvements. Is the introduction of Yoshi. Like besides him being just like a great character, a great cute character, the dynamic of him being in this game adds more to the gameplay because you can ride on top of him to swallow enemies and it's a risk versus reward because it's very easy to lose Yoshi, as you guys probably saw during the stream. But if you can manage to keep him, then he'll do a lot of good work for you. Only downside is he cannot
Oh,
go into any indoor levels. So if you're going to a Boo House or one of the Koopaling's castle, you lose them right away, which is very unfortunate. Um,
no. Like Mario dismounts and then goes into the indoor level, and it's so sad.
It is. Yeah, this was Yoshi's debut, but he was, very much treated like a mechanic in this game. It's not until later games that like he would really get himself established as, having his own like, personality and doing his stuff here. Like Yoshi's Island, the direct sequel to this game. And it's called a direct
Mm.
sequel, but it's more of a prequel, but I digress. It was called Super Mario World 2, but it was just the beginning of like the Yoshi's Island series. They probably were just too afraid to say it, so they marketed it as Super Mario World 2. Anyway, we're getting off topic. Super Mario World itself is still a very, very good game. I used to always be like, I like Super Mario Brothers 3 a lot more. It's like, now that I've actually played both games back to back, man, I like Super Mario World like so much more. The controls are a lot more tight, levels are a lot more fair.
Mm.
Like Super Mario Bros. 3 was like the pinnacle of what the NES could do, but Super Mario World just being on the Super Nintendo by itself is just like a generational leap in more ways than one. But what are your thoughts?
I mean, it's just like such a nostalgia blast for me.
Mm-hmm.
But truth be told, my favorite Mario game will always be Super Mario Bros.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first game I was introduced to, and I just have such fond memories, even though Super Mario World does have my heart because of Yoshi.
Yeah,
But that's besides the point.
it's
But yeah,
it's really cool
it
that
takes.
yeah. What are you gonna say? You can go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying you can go ahead.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I don't know. I have a love hate relationship with this game, mostly because as you keep dying, it gets very, very easy to die very early into the stage.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
so I mean, it takes some time to get used to the controls, but once you get used to it, it's really not that bad.
No, not at all. Rodrigo's on chat. He says blue Yoshi's the best Yoshi. That's my personal favorite color Yoshi too. I love the blue Yoshi, but that's because blue is my favorite
I like the
color.
pink one.
Pink
I like
one's
the
cute
pink
too.
one.
Oh, Kristie, you're gonna love when we eventually get to Yoshi Island. You're gonna love it because you do not only play as the green Yoshi in that game. You play as all the different colors. Like that's actually the main gimmick of that game. That the Yoshis on the island actually transfer Baby Mario in kind of like in the relay system. Like the first level of every world is always the green one. Then you pass it to another color, then the next color, then the next color. So ultimately, you're playing as all different colored Yoshis through each level, and it's great. And that's actually the game that introduced a lot of the Yoshi colors as well. What was I gonna say? Shoot. You were saying something about Super Mario Brothers. How it was like your... Oh, I remember I was gonna ask. Now that you've gotten farther in Super Mario World than you ever have before, what are your thoughts on some of the later levels, like past the Yoshi's Island World 1 area?
It's not bad. Granted, I've always played World 1, like, backwards and forwards, to the point that it's like, eh. And so, I've always gotten stuck in World 2, so just getting past it is, like, very much a new experience for me.
We got past the Boo House, which is always confusing. It only gets more confusing from there, but I'm very glad we were able to get past at least that, because I definitely did want to see what was past that. Boo Houses are like always puzzle levels, even in the 3D.
Boo Houses are kind of creepy.
Yeah,
they're like kind of like the Hammer Bros.
Yeah, I can definitely
where
see.
You're
it.
Like, they're scary. I don't like them, and they insta kill you if you're tiny, and it's the worst thing ever.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Boo Houses, I think, also are a technical showcase in a way as well, because there's so many of them. Like, they were in Mario Brothers 3, where there's like a few boos at a time, and you just kind of had to like kind of finesse them if you wanted to get past them. But this game, only a few of them are an active threat, but there's also so many of them. They're like just all just waiting for you. And like boos are adorable in most games, like you said, but in this game they definitely wear out. They definitely do their whole terrifying shtick thing.
Yeah.
I think
especially since you can't really hit them.
I think one of my favorite times I've seen boos in like a Mario game was in the Super Mario Galaxy games specifically, because first off, the boo levels in Galaxy have amazing, beautiful music. Like in Galaxy 1, there's like a new song called Waltz of the Boos. You have to hear Waltz of the Boos if you've never heard it before. It's a awesome, awesome music song. With Galaxy 2, what they instead did was they made kind of like an orchestral remix of the Boo House song from this game. So both were good in their own way, because one was an original new song that's really good, and Galaxy 2 was just like a new take on a tried and true Boo song. And of course, you get to become Boo Mario in those games, where Mario literally becomes a Boo, which is awesome. It's one of my favorite power-ups in Mario games.
That would be fun.
Yeah. But yeah. There's a lot we could...
I just love the Yoshi in this game. That's just it.
Yeah. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to say. Like, that's the other thing about this game. It had such a huge impact just because it introduced Yoshi. Like, there's so much that came from this game specifically. The game we're currently playing is called Super Mario 3D World. So this... it was called that, because it's a 3D game, but it also has 2D elements. They wanted to. It was a callback. It was a callback to that. Original says maybe we should get 3D All Stars. I would highly recommend getting 3D All Stars, because that's going to get delisted at the end of this month, and then you will never be able to get it. So yeah, I would recommend.
Get it while you still can.
Get it while you still can. This is the last month that you will be able to. Like, it'll be delisted from the eShop, and then physical. Whatever's still out there, I'm sure they'll keep selling until it sells out. But I wouldn't risk it. Like if you have any interest at all in getting it, you want to do it before this month, because I love it, and it gives you Switch ports of 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy, all great Mario games, especially Galaxy 1. Galaxy 1 until Odyssey was like my favorite all-time 3D Super Mario game. It's amazing. I'm currently playing through it for the channel, and I couldn't be happier because I love playing that game. But yeah, what I was gonna say was. And also, yeah, the Yoshi as a character. For this being his first appearance, he made such an impact that he just kept appearing in Mario games from that point on. That he just, right adjacent to it, you can see right here, he's one of the characters in Super Mario Kart as a racer. He got the sequel to this. The sequel to this game we just played was a spin-off that starred Yoshi, which would later on become Yoshi's very own series. Hell, they went back and made NES games with Yoshi. This is a Super Nintendo game, but they went back to the past gen and made 2 puzzle Yoshi games because of how popular he was.
Yoshi is amazing.
Yoshi is great. Yoshi's one of the best things that they ever added to Mario. He's more associated as a Mario character, but of course he does have his own Yoshi series as well. Like he's just a great character. So I'm glad that
No.
this is the game that introduced him. Yeah, there's so much. Oh, and Kristie, the final boss, like minor spoilers for people who haven't played Mario World, but the final boss of this game is Bowser, as you'd expect. But this is the first game that he shows off his Koopa Clown car that he is seen riding in many games. Like the fight against it is
What?
on the clown car. It's the first time we've ever seen the clown car, and as you know, it ended up becoming like a staple of the Mario series, mostly for Bowser Jr. these days. But of course, Bowser had his own. Rodrigo says also the MU. MU. I'm not sure what he means. Oh, music for the end boss is good. Oh yeah, the final Bowser fight thing in this game is great. It's great. Like this game has such good 16-bit songs that many of which are still being used like today. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to mention, Kristie. Like in Galaxy 2, Galaxy 2 was one of the big improvements that Galaxy 2 had over Galaxy 1 was Galaxy 2 added Yoshi. That you had levels where you could get Yoshi and then go into levels with him, and he had his own power-ups that he could get and his own mechanics. One of the level music is literally just like orchestral remix of the Yoshi's Island song. That one. It's great.
I remember that.
Yeah.
One of my
Anyway,
favorites, to be honest.
so I'm gonna just kind of like summarize our thoughts here because we could really go on and on about Super Mario World. Oh, sorry, one last thought is that it's also what's also good, and this is over Super Mario Brothers 3 is the fact that we didn't personally do this ourselves, but some levels have multiple endings where you can find hidden levels. Like I think you only there's like if you just go straight to the game, don't get any alternate levels, you'll be able to get it's like 70 levels, which is, by itself is a lot. But if you do go to the alternate paths to unlock new paths, you'll get over 96 levels. So this being
a lot more.
it's a lot more. And let me tell you, because you do have to earn those secret levels, make no mistake, those secret levels you lock are hard. Like there's an entire secret world called I think the Star World, which has the hardest levels in the game. And if you're willing to earn it and go there and go to the extra mile, you can definitely find some extra challenge in this game as well. But if you're just trying to roll credits, you'll be rewarded for your perseverance because again, it's not too the cape one. Rodrigo knows there's a cape level that's like really tough, and it counts on you to know how to fly. If you don't know how to fly, you will not be able to pass that level.
Womp, womp, womp.
Yeah. So, but that again, that's for like expert players. But you'll be able to do enough to like complete the game. There's just so much that stemmed from this game. Like this game to this day has influenced so much in Mario. In some respects, even more than the original Super Mario Brothers. Like it's an iconic game. To no one's surprise, this game holds up sublimely. If you have never played this game, you owe it to yourself to play this one. And if possible, do so with a friend because I think that just makes it a lot better. I can honestly say that playing with Kristie was a much more fun experience than playing this by myself. It was great.
Honestly, it's one of my favorite memories is just playing it with other people.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, most of the SNES games that I've played, there's just much more enjoyment playing with other people, even if it's just like a single player game where you just pass the controller to somebody and see if they're able to, beat the level that you were having trouble with.
Yeah, and that's another good thing about this service. Like, when I was doing the NES games, a lot of those games, I mean, it was about half and half, I'd say. Some NES games were single player by themselves, while a few of them were two player, where, people could take turns that way. But the good thing about both the NES app and this app as well is that even if a game is single player, you can, like you said, pass the control around literally by just switching like the player one user like from the screen there. So you could literally take turns even if it's like a single player only game. So it's something I really appreciate about this app. And this game, like you're not doing this game necessarily because it has native two player alternating with Mario and Luigi, but other games you could do that as well. And then what we did in this playthrough is exactly what you described, where I couldn't complete the level, so you went ahead and did it, or vice versa. You couldn't complete the level, so I would take a turn until one of us did it. And then I love how, like, if one person loses all their lives, you can choose how many lives to give to the other person. Like if you have one person that's really good, maybe you'll give them a few lives, or if they're about the same skill, you give them equal lives, or you can give them all your lives if they're the MVP and they just couldn't do it that time. It's up to you. I love that you can choose how many lives to give your to give your friend that just happened to get the game over. And as long as you two keep going, you can just keep going, and I love that. Yeah, this game is iconic, very very much so. 100% holds up. Play it if If you somehow never played Super Mario World in your life and you have the Switch Online service, then do yourself a favor and play this game. It's so good. Like, I'm sure, again, we're not surprising anyone here. Like, you knew. The real question of, like, this game was, like, how well did it hold up? Not whether it held up, you know?
It still holds up really, really well to this day.
Like, Jake Shrew was talking about how he doesn't care as much for the later 2D Mario games. And you know what? One thing that the later ones do have for on their side is the fact that you can do multiplayer, like New Super Mario Brothers Wii, New Super Mario Brothers U. They have, like, the multiplayer. So that's one point to them. But these games, like this early one, they're just so tight, and I think they're just so more polished in that way. I think the difficulty level is just right, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's something about going back replaying old games, and you just realize that they're a tad bit more polished compared to the newer ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Just a tad bit.
Just a tad. Well, it depends on the game.
It just might be nostalgia. It might be nostalgia.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's fair. But, like, nostalgia is a big part of it. I can tell you that I'm more nostalgic for, even though I didn't own a Super Nintendo, because of our conversation we had, like, at the beginning of the stream, I'm personally more nostalgic for Super Nintendo games than I am for NES games, because I didn't own one, but I did play a lot of Super Nintendo games. NES I never owned. My first time playing a lot of those old NES games was when they came out on, like, the Wii Virtual Console and what have you. And then I got to play a lot more of them thanks to Season 1 of HPCritical Does It Hold Up and, you know, all those NES games that were available there. Right. But yeah, I'm looking forward to playing more Super Nintendo games and just seeing how both these well-established classics hold up, as well as some games that I have never played before. Like, the higher you go, the more obscure picks you're going to get, like this game, Operation Logic Bomb, or Hey Punk, are you tough enough? You know, games like...
I'm excited for you to play Donkey Kong Country.
You're excited for me to play Donkey Kong Country? That's a great...
Have you played it?
That's a great... Donkey Kong Country 1? I've played it before.
Played it? It's one of my favorites.
Yeah. You know what? I've played Country 1, I played Country 2. I've never played Country 3, so that would be a entirely new experience.
2 or 3. I've used to have, like, Donkey Kong Country.
Uh-huh.
My favorite was always that trail. Not the trail, the train.
Oh, Rodrigo's saying, gotta learn the Donkey Kong rap before you play it. I know most of the Donkey Kong rap. I could easily learn the rest if you really want me to. Like, I love the Donkey Kong rap.
I don't.
I love the Donkey Kong rap. Wait, are you saying you don't... You don't know the Donkey Kong rap, or you don't... What do you mean you don't?
I don't know this.
Have you heard of the Donkey Kong rap before?
Hopefully, but I don't remember.
It was, it was famously in the intro of Donkey Kong 64, but they also did a remix of it in Melee as well, which plays on the Congo Jungle stage. It's the, here we go, so they're finally here, performing for you. If you know the words, you can join in too. Put your hands together if you want a clap as we take you through this monkey rap. Woo! DK! Woo! Donkey Kong! He's the leader of the bunch. You know him well. He's finally right. He's finally here to kick some tail.
Yeah, I've heard it before, but I just don't remember.
Yeah, I know the first verse, and I know the last verse because... We're going to say Kristie beatbox him. I'm not going to do the whole rap right now, but I know, because I don't know the whole song. I know the first verse with Donkey Kong. I know the Chunky Kong verse at the very end, and I think I remember a bit. I think I remember the Diddy verse, but I don't remember the Lanky verse, and I don't remember the Tiny verse. So I'd have to practice that before I did it. But yeah,
I don't know any of this.